Joe, when I first moved here to Birmingham, my first year at UAB, he was one of my first sports students here. More than 30 years ago. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. First, I want to thank Kira and Robin Berger for their incredible presence and voices for us for tonight's Shabbat service. Our second reminder for the Shabbat, I believe it is 28/7, but I'm sure all of you know that. And finally, I guess there'd be jokes, but it doesn't work, or laughs at least. And finally, as we've been doing the past couple of weeks, you shall see the prayer book somewhere right around here from our Union of Reform Judaism and the Central Conference of American Rabbis. We want to bring you the visual aspects for tonight's service. The melodies, for the most part, will be the same. English reading slightly new, but again, this is while we're still closed because of the COVID virus. So we start our service. We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured. It's a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors through lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in shalom and peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. And the brightness of Shabbos, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer and we continue with our candlelight blessing.
b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We rise together for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahavo v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziyat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shava kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Please be seated. We continue welcoming the Shabbos bride with L'cha Dodi.
L'cha Dodi.
rise to welcome the Shabbos bride.
Vo'i v'shalom ateret halav, Yam
Please be seated. We continue Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי עזור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינוך. מזמור שיר, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, לאדוני, לזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, לזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון.
We continue with our Chetzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ויעמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי דקודשה בריחו, לילה מן כל ברכתיו ושירתיו, תושבחתיו ונחמתה, דמירן ביומה, ואמרו אמן.
And we rise.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, united with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless.
Barechu et Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ariv Aravim.
We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are embraced by arms that bind us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, we are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for me. We are loved, we are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. Embrace us, soothe and counsel, as are the arms, the fingers, the voices, as are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. Try and join in with us. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, an unending love. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We continue with our Michal Mocha.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef peleh, nora tehilot. Osefele, yailai, yalalai, yalalalai, 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 yalalai, yalalalai, yalalalai. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Yalalai, is like you, Adonai.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue with Vishamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Dorotam Berit Olam. Uvayom Hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam.
And we rise together for tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Emotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imaot, Digula Lifnei Vnehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach Magid, Baruch atah Adonai, Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim atah Rav le'Oshia, Bashiva Ruach U'Morid Hagashem, Mechalkel Chaim beChesed, Mechaye Metim Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Chayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umedom Elach, Melech Meimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'emanata le'achayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim, atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Gdoshim b'chol yom yiralu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. And we continue. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise to you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. We continue with Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
we take a few moments for silent prayer. At this moment in our service, we take time to think of those in our community, those in need of healing of body or spirit. On the Shabbat, we especially think of Rose Andresen, Linda Applebaum, Cindy Bailey, Dr. Jason Bailey, Katie Bates, Chrissy St. Charles, Orit Cohen, Grayson Cook, Dr. Jeff Davis, Sylvia Gauss, Elaine Gross, Danny Jones, Bart Kolber, Pete and Joan Lisinski, Scott Leader, Priscilla Leaf and Barton Leaf, Wayne Lewis, Vicki Luger, Brex Martin, Kakiklek Mendel, Isaac Petrosky, Bethany Pridmore, Nancy Russo, Beth Scherer, Robin Silverman Ayers, Dr. Lynn Simons, Jean Sklar, Norman Mark Stevens, Adam Terrell, Jesse Weisberg, Marguerite Varon, and Elisa Rosemore Whitehead. We continue with our Misha Berach. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thanks, Paul. I hope everyone's okay. We haven't looked at the score, but perhaps more are watching. Maybe that's a good sign. But I first want to admit, as a rabbi, I've never been a fan of the transition from December 31st to January 1st. I've only recognized New Year's Day, which usually happens a few months back in September. I like to admit that it's the Jewish tradition that first came up with New Year's resolution, our Machzor, our Jewish high holiday prayer books. They're filled with them in order for us to live better lives, to work on our imperfections, to take that courage to improve our best selves. But nevertheless, I recognize when sometimes, perhaps, there is a sign, and this week's Torah portion, Parshat Vayechi, perhaps sometimes we can enjoy the idea, things that conclude as the last book of the book of Genesis, and last night was the last month of a horrible year in the 2020 calendar year, 2020. So I recognize that there is a connection. But I think in light of this idea that I'm sharing, that we can perhaps enjoy last night's transition just for this once, I think the Torah portion is perfect for us to study. When we look at this parashah, this is the culmination of our patriarchs and matriarchs. This is a story when Jacob and Joseph, when they pass away. On top of that, this is where we learn where Jacob charges his youngest sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, for they to carry forward the people of the Jewish tradition. But there's something important I want us to look at for tonight. The first couple words of this Torah portion, Jacob lived in the land of Egypt. When we look at the Hebrew, it says, Vayehi Yaakov ba'eretz Mitzrayim. It doesn't say that Jacob dwelled, which we could use the word lagor or gar. And for a great rabbi writing from the 15th century, Isaac Arbonel, he believes this is significant. The Torah informs us that even though Jacob's original intention had been to just go to Egypt only until the end of the famine, God commanded him to remain there for the rest of his life. That the Torah uses the term lived, vayechi, rather than vayegar, indicates the Torah speaks of the quality of Jacob's life in Egypt. And he's speaking to the good quality, which is a contradiction. When we look at Jacob's name, when it's changed to Israel, one who wrestles with God, this is where we get Beit Yaakov. This is the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, which is referring to Eretz Yisrael. When we look back at Jacob's life, especially in the land of Israel, it's a journey with incredible difficulty. First, we recognize that Jacob had great contention with his brother Esau. Even though they later would reconcile this family conflict, this is the beginning of Jacob's life with his conspiracy against his brother. Still in the land of Egypt, Jacob then has to deal with his father-in-law, Laban, and his cunning ability to marry someone whom he didn't want to marry, another tsuras in Jacob's life. And finally, arguably the most difficult journeys or sagas that Jacob experienced while living in the land of Egypt was nevertheless when he found out that Joseph had died, and the Torah indicates this is where he tore his garments because of his incredible sadness upon hearing the death of his son. But when he gets to Egypt and he sees all of his sons together, the teaching tells us that Jacob was finally able to enjoy the harmony, the peace, the family that he so longed for. Even though he didn't do this in the land of Israel, he did it in a foreign land. So what does that mean for us today? I do recognize that 2020 has been incredibly foreign for us, something that we never envisioned through much of our existence, a foreign pandemic that utterly crippled our way of life. And God willing, with more vaccines, I hope that in 6 months from now, we can finally stop talking about this horrible virus. In a way, like Jacob, we too have been living in exile. We've been away from our synagogue, we've been away from our family, sporting events, just that normal aspect of life that we're so used to having. But I think the lesson for us, just like Jacob, as presented in this Torah portion, is that as this becomes the closing years of Jacob, and Jacob represents Beit Yaakov, the house of Israel, the one who believed in the oneness of the Shema, the power of the Torah, that there's a living lesson that Jews can survive, that we all can survive, even when we are in exile. And this exile for us is this physical distancing for the time being. And even though we're in this dreaded exile, we still can maintain our goodness, our Torah, our way of life. And when Jacob's life finally comes to an end, even with all of its sorrows that he experienced in Israel, he passed away with peace, knowing that his family was one once again. And I think this is a lesson for us as we start a new calendar in 2021. The hope that this will soon come to an end. The belief that despite our adversity and our circumstances, we still get to display Torah throughout our way of life. And finally, as frustrated as we may get, when there's moments when we want to drop our guard, keep the fight up, because it will come to an end soon. As Jacob lived his life for us through Torah, this is our obligation as we welcome this new calendar year. Shabbat Shalom. We rise together as we conclude with Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ten gedula le'otzer reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzon, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kachol hamona, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, u'moshev yakurov v'shamayim ima'al, u'shchina tuzo, u'shchina tuzo, v'noven memorim, u'Eloheinu einon, emem malkeinu efesulato, k'katuv b'Torato, yadata yom lehashemata el levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim ima'al, v'gal haaretz mitachat einon, v'nemar lehaya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, vayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life has gone, and not by memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more, echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do our best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our painful loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of Adonai. In affirming the oneness of God, we affirm the worth of each one whose life, now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one alone and every life finds purpose. On this Shabbat, we recall the yortzites of Rose Altmark, Esther Apolinsky, Michael Saul Applebaum, Libby Bank, Levi Levy Becker, Donald Blumenthal, Morris Berger, Maxine G. Kaheen, Kenneth Camp, Adele Cohn, Isaac Cooperman, Bessie Rotenstrike Cotton, Carol Corgell, Gertrude Davis, Melvin E. Dorn Sr., James E. Dowdy, Ben A. Engel, Ethel Fitlow, Raymond Fox, Sheila Friedman, Herman Fairchild First, Gussie Morris Gary, Edith K. Gerson, Ray Goldberg, Hannah G. Goldstein, Nettie Goodman, Bessie Greenberg, Betty Greenberg, A. William Handler, Doug Hewell, Sally B. Hunter, Sylvan Elliott Ives, Cindy Jaffe, Eileen Jones Johnson, Abe Kaplan, Marilyn Lazarus, Francis Levin, Dr. Myron A. Levine, Sophie R. Leone and William M. Leone, Brandon Lee Miller, Emma Newfield Minisman, Leroy Monsky Jr., Joanne Hess Morrison, Philip Oster, Evelyn Myers Pose, Etta K. Ripko, Aaron Rosenfeld, Bertha Rosenthal, Avery Sanger, Ike Sachs, Joseph Salloway, Dorothy Schwab, Don Siegel, Henry Sisson, Sarah Spiegelman, Betty B. Spielberger, Pauline N. Steinman, Mildred Wald, Milton M. Webb Sr., Eleanor Wiscott, Rose Weiss, and Moise Milton Zavalo, and our heartfelt condolences in the recent passing of Diane Larson, aunt to my brother-in-law, Fred Freeman, the late husband of Brenda Freeman and father of Leah and Jordan, and Joseph Cantor, brother of Shirley Osband and the uncle of Kent Osband. May all of their memories forever be a blessing, and we rise together as a united congregation for Martyrs Kaddish. Yikadal Vikadash Shemei Rabbah, Bioma Divrach Hirote Vamlich Malchute, Vachayachon of Yomechon, Uvkaet called Beit Yisrael, Bagala Uizman Kari, Vimru, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach, Le'olam Olamei Almaya, Yit Barach, Hishtabach, Hipa'ard, Hitromam, Hitnaseh, Vita Dar, Vita Lev, Vita Lal, Shemei Dekutsha, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechemata, Damin Ram Bioma, Vimru, Yehei Shlama Rabbamin Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael, V'yimru Amen. Osei Shalom B'imromav, Hiyasei Shalom, Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael, V'yimru Amen. Concluding song.
Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Ve'akol
Shabbat Shalom. We want to thank Robin and Kira Berger for an incredible service, and we'll see Robin back in a week from tonight with our Tot Shabbat and our family Shabbat, joined by Cantor Whitner, who's on vacation. Thank you both again. Absolutely incredible. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.